Crest Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Cape May County. It's more than a nursing home. Find out how much more next on the Cape May County Report. Welcome to the Cape May County Report. I'm Lenora Bonafonte, Cape May County Communications Director, along with Freeholder Kristine Gabor. And joining us now is Lindsay, who is the administrator of Crest Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Cape May County. Freeholder Gabor, as Freeholder, you oversee health and human services. You've become the advocate for seniors in Cape May County. But the departments that you oversee, you have the health department, you have the Department of Aging and Disability Services and Fare-Free Transportation. And also part of that is Crest Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. When you take a look at all the departments you have, the goal is to help our seniors to have productive lives at home. How do all of these departments help them to do that in Cape May County?
Well, the Department of Health will help them with flu shots and things to keep them healthy, especially people who can't afford to go see a doctor. There's services there available to them. For aging and disability services, we have staff there that will do an intake screening for people who go to visit them and find out what their needs are, and then help them either refer them out to other agencies or to other companies that we contract with for services, or services directly from our department, such as mobile meals and fare-free transportation, medicine management, certified home health aid, etc.
So there are so many programs available in Cape May County, and if someone needs a place to start, they could start with the Department of Aging and find out all the different services that are available to them. In Cape May County, talk about a little bit about the aging population we have and why it is important to provide these services for them.
Well, we have an increasing population of the aging in Cape May County, about 23%, and it's on the rise. So we have a huge need here to make sure that we serve the aging population here, make sure that they're well taken care of, that can stay in their homes as long as possible. And then if they cannot stay in their homes, then we need to make sure that there are resources for them for facilities they can go to be taken care of.
And why is it important, not just from a financial standpoint, but to keep our aging population at home as long as possible?
Well, I think statistics show that when you're able to stay in your home, a place where maybe you've raised your children and family, and there's a comfort there for them, that the elderly would thrive a little bit better, just to be able to be in their own home in their own bed, for family to come and visit them. There's just a comfort level there, and you want them to be as happy as they can in the years that they have left.
Now, when someone has to make the difficult decision of finding a place for their loved one when they can't be cared at home, one place in Cape May County is Crest Nursing and Rehabilitation Center that is run by the County of Cape May. Linda, as administrator, you've been at Crest Haven for a long time. Give us some background about Crest Haven and how it's evolved through the years.
Crest Haven actually is the county has owned it for about 191 years. It started out as an almshouse and then evolved from there. It became the Cape May County Welfare Home, and then Crest Haven Nursing Home, and then now we are the Crest Haven Nursing and Rehab Center. So we have, in the past maybe 12 years, we've increased our services. We opened a short-term rehab unit, which is part of a 22-bed wing. We have a respite hospice unit. We call that Transitional Life Care Center. So we've added a lot to our long-term care services.
In the past 10 years, Crest Haven has grown, as you said, in all the different departments that you have. Let's start and talk a little bit about long-term care. If someone needs long-term care and they're going to come to the nursing home, tell us what services are provided in long-term care.
In long-term care, all your care needs are provided. We have our RNs and certified nursing assistants, our LPNs on staff for all your health care needs.
How many beds do you have at Crest Haven?
We have, it's a 180-bed unit facility. We have, it's broken into 3 actually distinct wings, and our long-term care population is maybe centered most in our north wing, because our east wing is separated with our short-term rehab. And then we also have a dementia unit. and off of that dementia unit is our respite hospice
Now,
care.
for years in Cape May County, if you needed a nursing home, there would be a wait list at all of the nursing homes in the county. How has that changed in recent years? Are there more nursing homes in Cape May County than in the past?
There have been more nursing homes. I also think that there's a concentrated effort to keep people in their homes longer than they used to, and I think that because it's cost effective and it's better for the client to stay at home as long as possible. And there's also some other facilities, independent living and assisted living, that have come into the picture there for people who can afford assisted living. That's another option if they don't need to have the actual long-term care. And for people who may still be able to live independently but they don't have family, some of the independent living buildings in the county, which there are a few more now that there were in years past, where your next door neighbor is an older person that may also be alone, and they kind of watch over each other and they can stay alone a little bit longer. So there's just a different variety of choices now than there were before.
So that's what I was trying to say. There are many more choices than existed before, and something to fit everyone's place they are in their life at that time. Now, when you take a look at Crest Haven, so right now with 180 beds, are there availabilities if someone was looking for a place?
Yes, we do have rooms available in our short-term and also our long-term care.
Now, what is the criteria for someone to come to be a long-term resident of Crest Haven?
Criteria as far as medically?
Or can anyone come? Is there an age requirement, or?
There's not an age requirement. You just have to be medically, you have to
have a need.
Yes, yes.
When you take a look, you talked about different parts of Crest Haven. So you have a rehabilitation center, which is short-term. Now that's something different. Not all nursing homes have that. Tell us a little bit about the rehab center.
Our rehab center, what you do is if you have a knee replacement, a hip replacement, you would come into our rehab. You would have physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy. We have a very nice gym that the county has renovated in the past 5 or 6 years, and it takes care of strengthening the resident, assessing their needs as far as their mobilities, and you're there maybe 20 to 30 days, so that's why we call it a short-term unit, and you rehab and you go home.
So they're able to come and get their services and then go home when they're healthy.
Correct.
Now, also, you talked about at Crest Haven, one of the other sections that you have is a transitional life program.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Okay, that is an 8-bed unit. It is for respite care if you're a caregiver at home and you need a week off to either take a vacation or just take a break. It's very hard and stressful to be a caregiver. So we offer that service through our unit. It's also an end-of-life unit. Our residents that are near end of life, we like to move them to that unit because it's smaller. It's just a very nice home caring unit.
And the respite part is a very important piece that a lot of people may not know about. And when you're at home and you're caring for an elderly, and as Freeholder Gabor said, you're trying to keep people home as long as you can, but sometimes it becomes difficult. Loved one thinks they could do everything and they don't have a break. So this provides them with, if they want to go away, they can leave their loved one and catch up. So it's really important to the whole family unit.
Yes, correct. And also there are services for caregivers that they need a support group or something of that nature. The aging and disability services, they can reach out to us at the county and we can refer them to a service that will help them, because it is a very stressful time for a caregiver. Unless you've actually experienced it, sometimes it's hard to understand how difficult it is, especially when it's a loved one that you're seeing going through a difficult time, that you need that break both physically and mentally. So in addition to having the respite care at Crest Haven Nursing and Rehab Center, you can also reach out for services for a support group so you can help to deal with the stress issues of taking care of a loved one.
Which is important because sometimes this responsibility comes upon you and you don't know where to reach for help. And with the Department of Aging, using them as a resource for information or services, with Crest Haven that you can use the services there, and respite, it's kind of a continuity of services where you can continue and to be a network to help you get through this very difficult time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, our department there at the county has just about all the information that you would need if you're elderly or you're caring for an elderly person and what they need. There are times where we have, children of the elderly will come there and say, I need assistance for my parent, or they'll contact us from out of state and say, my elderly parent is there, I'm not there. What services can they take advantage of? What's there? And they can't get out to social services to discuss it with someone. We'll have somebody contact them or go out and visit them, so we make sure that they have everything that they need.
And that's important because some people get overwhelmed. They're choosing different types of medical insurance. They don't know what they need. So to have someone to talk to go to, is a big resource and a help. Linda, when you were talking about some of the programs at Crest Haven, one of the other specialized units you have is a dementia unit. Yes. Tell us about that and how unique that is in terms of the services that you provide there.
Our dementia unit is very unique. It's our special unit. We take care of a lot of Alzheimer's disease residents, behaviorals. We have a large activities department that is key to the quality of life of our residents on that unit. A lot of those residents sundown after 4 o'clock, and that's
what does that mean, Linda?
That means, especially the females, at 4 o'clock is when your children would come home from school. Your
busiest
husband
time.
would come home from work. You would be preparing your dinner. You would be doing homework with the children. Getting them ready for bed. So with that disease, although you have forgotten a lot of stuff, for some reason that is a time that your body just wants to react. So you have a lot of wandering at that time. You have a lot of distress type behaviors. So activities is key at that time because you can very easily distract with an activity. So we offer that service. Our RNs on that unit have been there long term, 13 or more years, so they know the residents. They can come into work and just know by looking at a resident, gee, they're not feeling good that day, just by a look, because they've formed that relationship with our residents. So we're very proud of our West Wing.
That's an important point that you just brought up, that the quality of care and the type of care that they receive. Talk a little bit about the staff at Crest Haven, from RNs to your food service people. Tell us about some of the people that worked at Crest Haven.
I'm prejudiced, but we have an excellent caring team of employees there. We have the direct caregiver, which is your certified nursing assistant, our LPNs that pass our meds and do treatments, and then your RNs who specialize in their field. Our dietary department is an awesome department. They have shared services. They do our Meals on Wheels for the county. They provide meals for senior centers. Also, we provide meals for CAPE counseling. So they do about 500 meals a day in our dietary department without a complaint. Our dietary director, John Mathis, is just awesome. We can tell him we need something and he just says, okay, when and where. So we're very proud of dietary. Our activities department, we always have entertainment, outside entertainment, singers. Our residents look forward to the singers that come in. We have different singers, from young to old. And a lot of our residents love the young Elvis-looking singer that comes in. So it's a home in itself. It's our own little world at Crest Haven.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to find out about some of the recreational activities and some of the shared services that Crest Haven does provide throughout the county. So please stay with us.
How far would you go to feel young again? How far to capture the sun? To to walk in the wild, to celebrate new traditions. How far would you go to just slow things down? Your journey begins at njsouthernshore.com, New Jersey's Southern Shore region.
How far would you go to build a kingdom? How far to save a species? To shoot the rapids? To bolt at the speed of lightning? How far would you go to live in another century? To share new discoveries? To make the summer last forever? Your journey begins at njsouthernshore.com, New Jersey's Southern Shore region.
Welcome back to the Cape May County Report. I'm Lenora Bonafonte, Cape May County Communications Director, along with Freeholder Kristine Gabor, and we're also talking today with Lindsay, who's the administrator of Crest Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. Before the break, you were telling us about all the wonderful programs that Crest Nursing Home and Rehabilitation Center offers. But I guess one of the things that really sets it apart would be the recreational center and activities that are provided to the residents, because you treat them more like they're part of your family than as their clients there.
Yes.
So it's really their home. Tell us about the recreational staff and some of the different events throughout the year.
We have, we do a senior prom where our residents actually get dressed in senior gowns that are donated from the community. We have in fact, Kristine, our freeholder, came with her son's football team this year as escorts.
Now, Freeholder, as a new freeholder this year and taking on the Health and Human Services, going into Crest Haven, you really came right in and took on the role where you wanted to be part of everything, and you've tried to go to all of the events that you could, where there's a lot of things going on. So, but you went to everything, and when you go to the senior prom, was it what you thought it was? I mean,
I
like when
had
you
no
saw
idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea how wonderful it was going to be, and I was impressed by the staff. I mean, they were dressed up. They were excited as if it was their prom, and to see with the gowns and the tuxedos and everyone, they had their escorts. And what I thought would be nice is to have some of the boys from the Ocean City High School football team came over, and they wore their shirts and ties. My son was one of them, and we brought them over, and they were escorts, and they had their pictures taken, and they helped wheel the residents into the activities room for dinner and then for the entertainment. And it gave them a perspective on what it's like to be elderly and be in a nursing facility. So it showed them to respect the elderly. They had a really good time. They really enjoyed it. They learned a lot. And I think the residents enjoyed seeing the young people come in there, paying attention to them, making them feel special. And I think that the whole goal there was not only for the charitable, volunteering for the youth to go in there and understand what it's like to be there, but to just bring some joy and fun to the event and to the residents there. And I think it worked out wonderfully. We had a really good time.
And that's an important point, because the community does help and want to get involved. As you said, they donate items for many events throughout the year to help, but also coming in and entertaining and just being part of it. The Cape May String Band comes in and they entertain the
residents. Love the string band.
That's also another wonderful event that I've attended, and they love the music and the string band. The members of the band love being there, and it shows. So they enjoy that part of the entertainment. And there's, I mean, things you wouldn't think about. They had the largest bologna sandwich contest, and the residents were there. And then afterwards, everybody got to have lunch. We also had a cupcake eating, actually a cupcake contest, not a cupcake eating contest, but it was the employees. Cupcake Wars is what it was, and we had all different cupcakes that were brought in by different people that worked at the nursing home. And then we had judges. I was one of the judges and some staff members, and we sat and we tested all the cupcakes and gave out prizes. And they had enough there for all the residents to to enjoy cupcakes, and it was fun. The residents were there to watch, and they had a really good time with it.
Well, it's nice because the staff, interact with the residents. They're like a family, so they help. And then the community gets involved, as you said, and you also have a lot of unique programs there where you actually have students from special services school district that come each day. So the interaction of those special children with the elderly is something unique as well.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yes, they're a special part of that program, and we love to see them there, and I think it helps them as well as the residents.
Now, some of the other events that you have throughout the year that I know Freeholder Gabor participated in is the polar bear plunge.
She is game. Took her shoes off and plunged in.
Yes,
she did.
Another fun event that the residents really enjoyed. I think it's just a matter of this bringing, just a bright light to their day, having other people coming into the facility, that they're not there by themselves. And it's a lot because some of them don't have family; they're alone, and then the staff and the other people who visit become their family. So it's very important that they include everyone, and they've done a wonderful job at doing that.
So I guess if you wanted to dispel some myths out there, people when they think about going to a home, they dread the idea. It's traumatic for the family to put their loved one in a home, but at Crest Haven, you make it more than that. It's a family, and with family picnics and events throughout the year. But it's not just the activities, but it's the whole atmosphere.
It is the whole atmosphere. Our employees are extremely caring. We basically adopt the resident as our mother, father, grandmother, grandfather. So, and we do expect that from our employees. But that just is something that comes natural. It is. I'm very proud of our staff. Very proud.
And your staff, they don't stay within their jobs. Sometimes they think outside of the box, and that has benefited the home itself. You had some of your staff that actually came up with a way that saved money for Crest Haven, the way they developed how they provided oxygen. Yes,
indeed. We went out and bought a oxygen manufacturing or producing machine because portable oxygen was expensive, and we wanted the quality of life for our residents to be able to go throughout the facility, go to the main rec room, instead of being confined to their room because they need oxygen. So John Meehan, who is our storeroom, he came up with the idea of maybe we could get a machine and fill our own oxygen tanks. So they went to training, and that is a big part of our residents, that they have the portable tanks and they're able to get throughout the building. So yes, we do try to think of different unique things.
Well, you are working on some things that will enhance the quality of life for residents and their loved ones, so that they can visit with them more. Some things coming in the future, looking to have Skype at the nursing home. How will that enhance the quality of life for the residents?
We're going to have a room in our transitional life care TLC unit that's private. We'll have the Skype so that residents can talk with their families that aren't in the area, in the immediate area. Actually, all the residents in the nursing home will be able to utilize that. We are going to have Wi-Fi, wireless internet, so we're kind of one of the last facilities to get that, but we're excited about that because that's part of our short-term rehab clientele, if you want to call it that. We all know computers now. We are all on the internet. We're all on Facebook. So we go in the hospital, you want to take your laptop, you want to take your iPad. So that is something that we really needed to get going.
But Freeholder, this also helps so that if one family member comes, they can bring their laptop and bring the whole family along without having them physically come.
You can bring the grandkids to visit, and as long as they have, they have an iPad or something they can bring with them. But it's more than that. It's if you're visiting with your parent, and say you have another sibling or another family member out of the state or out of the country even, and they want to visit, they can visit, and you can bring your own laptop or iPad, and we'll have wireless, and then they can go ahead and visit with those people.
And because sometimes it's hard, you know, in this day when everyone's working and you're busy and kids have busy things, sometimes it's hard to get in the car and go to a nursing home to visit a loved one. But this will enable them, somebody to get a visit every day without having to leave, and it helps the residents, and then also their family is able to see them. So that's a good thing. You're also working to spruce up Crest Haven and give it a little bit of a facelift. Tell us about some of that.
Yes, we are. We are renovating by painting our units. We have actually one of our social workers, Chris Hagan, is very good at interior decorating, and he got together with our DON, Irish Dracket, and they came up with some really very nice colors that are just brightening up our rooms. So yes, we're just giving a little facelift with painting and
Curtains and bedspreads and things that just make it feel more like home.
Because it's a whole atmosphere and a whole feeling that you're trying to develop at Crest Haven, and actually the employees got together and came up with a slogan and kind of their mission as to what Crest Haven is, and Crest Haven care from our family to yours. Tell us what that embodies in that saying, what that means.
it is, at Crest Haven, we consider ourselves a family in itself, and our residents are part of our family. And so we tried to get our employees to come up with a slogan that just fit who we were. And we had about 40 entries, and our freeholders agreed to pick out of, I think we got it down to 6, and our freeholders picked the one that they also felt. We had some really excellent suggestions as to what a slogan. And our family is just, it just fit Crest Haven and our employees.
So now, as you are looking for, you do have availabilities. In the past, there was a wait list, but now there are availabilities, and as you said, throughout the county in different homes. If someone was interested and they had a need for it, how can they find out more information? Can they come visit Crest Haven? They
can. We will do tours any time of the day. They can call our main line and ask for admissions, which is 609-465-1260, and they can ask for admissions, and we have a very, very good admissions department that will walk them through it, through the admission process. And it is very stressful. It's very stressful to think about a nursing home, but we try to make that process as easy as possible. We have anyone in the staff, any one of our employees will actually tour someone if they come in. We take them through to the activities department, our rehab department, our gym, which we're proud of. So.
And Freeholder, when you looked at all the services that the county provides for the aging, why is it important to you to be an advocate for the elderly and to make sure that we ensure these programs and services for them?
Well, because I oversee health and human services and aging and disability, I just think it's my responsibility as an elected official, as part of the governing body, to make sure that all of our residents are taken care of, no matter what age they are. But considering that I am a part of the aging and disability, which also encompasses our disabled population, it's my job and my responsibility to advocate for them if no one else is.
Well, thank you for joining us this week on a Cape May County Report. Thank you, Linda. Until next time, I'm Lenore Bonafonte. See you on the Cape May County Report.